Well, four Nigerian boxers have been kicked out of the World Championships in Liverpool after missing the deadline for gender tests. The athletes are Blessing Oraikwe, Idowu Mistura, Zainab Adeshino, and Rilwan Rahim. Officials said the team took the test in Leeds on Monday, but results didn't come back until Thursday, too late to save their spot. It's a blow for Nigeria, with Oraikwe calling it heartbreaking after months of preparation. But their exclusion mirrors a wider shakeup in the tournament, with 5 French female boxers also barred for the same reason. In total, 12 fighters from 5 nations will not compete due to the rule. Well, the International Governing Body for Amateur Boxing said in May that women wanting to compete in the event, which started on Thursday, would have to have mandatory sex testing under its gender eligibility policy.
We went straight to the hospital because of the test. Then we did the test to pay for everything. But unfortunately, the test result was not out. So we were not able to participate in the World Boxing. I feel so sad because it was heartbreaking for me, because all my plans was to come here and dominate in the ring and to take the gold for my country, Nigeria, because I know how I worked so hard to, for this World Boxing, and I know how it was for my country, the Nigerian Boxing Federation, for the way they gathered money for us, for me and the other boxers to be here. It's heartbreaking for us.
Well, joining me now is the interim president of the Nigeria Boxing Federation, Azania Omo-Agege. Azania, glad to have you. Listening to that lady, it's actually heartbreaking when you get to prepare for a competition and you're looking forward to it, and this eventually happened. How big a setback is this for Nigeria's boxing team, first of all, especially with 4 athletes losing out at once?
Good evening, and thanks for having me. It's a very big setback, because this is the time we're supposed to be having to prepare our athletes for the Olympics coming up pretty soon. But to be very honest with you, I don't think they were very prepared. It's not an event they should have attended at this time, because the secretary, that's Lafasin, he had actually sent in the budget to the ministry since May, which has been a while, that they were going to go on this trip, but they never answered him. You see, this testing, the gender testing itself, would have taken place since. They should have actually gone before that time, because they were giving dates to certain things. There are rules. You don't go on that day, the last day, to do your gender testing. It doesn't work that way. You know, so that's what actually happened. And there was no money for them to go. So right now, they're stuck in London. We had one boxer was allowed to fight because she lived over there. So she did her testing before they even got there. That's she fought today actually, and she lost. So so right now we don't even have any boxer again. So all the monies for the transport, the tickets, hotel accommodation, their per diems, everything is given to them in advance, and they're supposed to be there for 2 weeks. So what now happens?
That's horrible. Since May, I don't know. Before we get to that, I mean, because that's very important. What's your sense of the gender test rules in terms of fairness, and could it be that they're too strict?
No, personally, no. Actually, I was on top of this gender issue before. Apparently, the reason they are doing this is because of the transgender rules in sports.
Yeah.
There's a particular boxer called Imani Khalif from Algeria.
Okay.
If you remember, she came for the Olympics qualifiers in Senegal the last time. And apparently, at that time, we were with the IBA, that's International Boxing Association, and they did a gender test on her. They found out that she was actually, her chromosomes were higher than what it's supposed to be, and tilting towards a male. And actually, they have a result. You know, it's private. They can't release it. They found out too that she was a male. And they told the IOC. IOC was very cognizant of this, but they still let her fight because she says her name is a female name. She has a woman on her passport, and that because of that, they should allow her to fight, which was wrong. I was in the forefront fighting on this gender thing. When Nigeria even joined World Boxing, I talked about it, that our boxers cannot go, our female boxers cannot go be fighting a man. You don't do that. Even when she was going for the Olympics qualifiers, right, in Senegal, she had about 4 fights. So guess what? All the fights she had were all 5-0. None of those opponents even won one round.
Of course,
You understand? Because they were not fighting. It
was not
fair.
a fair play field.
Not at all. You see, so I was actually shouting about this, and thank God I've been vindicated. When I even started it, it was like, oh, why are you saying this? Why are you saying that? But it's just the truth.
Yeah.
And hey, and for now, you see, World Boxing and the IOC has told them, in order to go forward, these people must be tested. And guess what now? She now, or he, was supposed to partake in this event, and they told her, for you to come, go do a gender test. Guess what? She refused.
She will refuse.
She refused,
because
and
she
now
knows the outcome.
Then she now sued the World Boxing to CAS.
She sued
CAS. That why would CAS come up with such a policy?
But that's the rules anyway.
You see it.
Now,
yes, that's why they're strict on it right now.
Now, let me get back to that issue, which you have already talked about, really. Let me just ask it, because I don't know. It's because you said it was in May.
Yes.
Could Nigerian officials have handled this better, or was this a question of athletes paying the price for poor timing and bureaucracy?
I won't say poor timing, but bureaucracy, I could say yes. And they were not really paying the price for anything. It's just the normal, I'm sorry to say this, it's the normal thing for the NSE. That's what they do. You know, it's just sad. The bureaucracy,
why?
I don't know. I don't know.
So apparently they could have handled it better.
Of course they should have.
So why are they not handling it better? Why? Because eventually the girls suffer, the athletes suffer.
The athletes suffer for sure. And my concern is this, is that, you see, I'm sorry to say this, I'm not here to blame anybody, but the NSC, the secretaries are the problems of the federations. You understand? Okay, take for example now. They went last minute, I think they left on the 31st or something. We don't even know how much was budgeted for them, how much they released. The Boxing Federation has an account. No money was paid into the account. So how did they get the money to go? Who did they release the funds to?
Boy, that sounds very odd. Things should be done straight. Now, this kind of last-minute exclusion, what does it do to the psyche, confidence, and mental health of young athletes like Omo-Agege, Blessing Omo-Agege? I mean, you listen to her mourning.
They're not to be blamed in short, because I put the full blame on the secretary.
Yeah, but what does it do to their psyche, their confidence? I mean, not just about the long run and the short run. You know, here we don't so much talk about trauma.
Correct.
But trauma is a big deal over there, because people suffer from this thing, and it affects their psychology.
Yeah, not just trauma. Now, let me take you back. I'm sorry. For like the Olympics qualifier now, the boxers that man fought, right now, they're not themselves, trauma-wise, because they're like every day. One of them was even telling me that every time she sleeps, she dreams of her fighting a man. In the psyche, she's not herself.
Yeah.
You understand? Because it wasn't a fair play or so.
Yeah.
These boxers right now, but them, the blessing, they are professionals. Okay. They understand that, but they're just disappointed because this is their time for them to shine. You understand? This is the time for them to shine. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, a very quick one. Going forward, what should be done to prevent this kind of things going forward?
Going forward, I think the NSC should get its act together. And anytime the secretaries or bring forward bills or things like that, they should act on it fast to give the boxers proper time to train. Guess what? They didn't even attend camp. They were never in camp for this event.
So they may have just gone there. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. So they could have just gone there and got disgraced.
Yes. And secondly, another thing that is of concern, they did not even go with the technical director who's supposed to be in charge of them and the national coach, Coach Tony. So they took a different coach.
So what were they going to do? All right, Azania Omo-Agege, thank you so much, the interim president of Nigerian Boxing Federation. I hope these things get corrected.
I just hope so too.
We can't continue this way. It doesn't. That's mediocrity and not excellence. All right, thank you so much for being on the program.
Thank you very much, sir.